Hold Your Back is probably my favourite Quo song of all time. I really like Paper Plane. I really like a song I wrote called The Oriental that Francis and I wrote, because it's a bit different, but it's still a Quo song, and it's really hard to write something that's a bit different than a Quo song.
He's one of my best mates, and he's an all-round thoroughly good bloke. And again, great player, easy to get on with, great sense of humour. And I think, you know, with Rhino and Andrew, and, you know, we're lucky with the lineup. You know, the people often say to us, you know, about how do you manage to hang on in there, you're on the road so much. Without the humour, which everybody contributes to, without which I don't think we would be together, but we do enjoy it, we have a laugh.
What about a young Matt?
The Killer?
Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Luckily, John found him. John knew that he was going to ask Matt. And Matt's the quietest person I've ever known.
Nicest bloke you'd ever meet. Really passive guy, loves his own company, you know. And often a day will go by when you won't even talk to Matt, or he won't talk to you, but you know there's nothing wrong. It's just him, he's just a quiet man.
When Jeff went, it was basically left to me to find a drummer. There was a few guys I could have run, but I always thought that Matthew's personality would fit.
Well, I got a call from John, the bass player, back in 2000, and he just phoned up out of the blue and said, do you fancy joining Quo? So I said yes.
And what were you doing before that?
I was just doing Hank Marvin tour. I'd done 2 tours with him previously, and as soon as that was finished, I was in the Quo.
And we did the first rehearsal, and Matthew didn't realise that he was supposed to be holding them back when they raced off. So we started off, we did Caroline, it was a do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. By the end of it, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and it was, I phoned Francis that night, and I said, are you crapper yourself? He said, yep. You? He said, yep. He said, well, it's over your head.
Well, it was a bit daunting at first, but as soon as we got into rehearsals, you know, although it was a bit nerve-wracking, we settled down after a couple of days, and yeah, it's been good. Yeah, I enjoy it.
On days off, he goes and climbs mountains and walks up hillsides, and he's just that sort of bloke, you know, likes the planets and all that, you know, and he's a lovely guy. And I call him the Bosching machine, because he doesn't appear to be hitting it really hard, but he's a very fit guy. He runs marathons, half marathons, stuff like that. He's an athlete. And he's hitting those drums. I mean, he is hitting. He's got a lot of forearm strength, you know.
And I thought, well, you wouldn't want to upset Matthew, because he's one of those quiet people that I think all those years of being quiet would come out. But again, he's a very fit man and a fantastic drummer. If there's a criticism, I suppose, he's been so many years not kind of a member of the band. We had to, for the first few months, I used to keep saying, "You won't look at me when we're working. Will you look at me?" And he wouldn't look, and lots of people are taught they mustn't look at the person that just try and keep his eyes away. What's the matter with him, you know?
I think I'm there to hold the whole thing down, and keep them as solid as I can. So that's my primary role, is to hold it all down and drive it along as well.
Matt is so rigid, he can actually, you know, if the tempo's there, it stays there with Matt, whereas the rest of us, whoa, hey, anybody, you've got that. He's one of those people that just, well, that's where it is, and it just stays there. And it took us a while to realise that in certain tunes, for what comes to mind is, say, Hold You Back. And it goes into the verse, lovely fun. As it goes into, it pushes forward a couple of beats a minute, whoops. Whereas Matt's holding it back, we're going, what's gone wrong? And it took us to, I see, we realised we moved forward, say, 2-3 beats a minute, into the links into that, and as it goes back in the verse, it drops back again, I see. And so you had to try and, he's very good. Again, that's why he's there.
Were you a fan of their music before? You can be honest.
Yeah, as a kid, I bought some of the singles. I bought Roll Over, Lay Down and Rain. So I was into Quo at the time. Big fan of John Coghlan.
I think he's absolutely brilliant. I think the band is, in the last year or so, has been playing the best it's ever played since I've been in. And I can't put my finger on it, but everyone seems to say we're playing brill. And so I think Matthew can be the only thing, really.
Young Matthew is, well, I suppose he's the only real musician in the band. He's a phenomenal drummer, very musical. Unlike a lot of drummers, he plays the song instead of hitting things in front of him. He plays the song. He's very thinking, and obviously a highly respected session musician. But we've got him now.
Say never, never say never. All hands up, are you ready for the weekend? Are you ever? The weekend, are you ever? Oh, stand up, let me hear you say never, say never. All hands up, let me hear you say we're gonna stick together. Working all week till Friday. Wish I could do it my way until when I'm giving it up.
Rocky Ricardo, he's a caution. He really is. He's probably my best mate in the band, though. We get on, you know, we live in the same town. We socialise. We walk our dogs together. Meet over the park, you know. He's mad. He's mad. He's the funniest bloke I've ever met, and a complete walking disaster area, which. Sometimes they give you a custard pie straight in the face. I'm talking, what's the word, metaphorically here. But most of the time he's lovely, and he's one of those people who'll do anything for you.
Rick's a real powerhouse. As we always say, no one plays guitar quite like Rick. He's such a unique rhythm guitarist, and they're so committed.
He could be a loose cannon, but no one plays guitar like him. No one can sound like him. Lots of people try, but they can't do it. He has the most peculiar style, and it's very much the sound of Quo.